Okay, so our next exercise is going to be a half kneeling hip flexor stretch. This is one of the most common exercises I see done incorrectly, okay? What we want to avoid in this hip flexor stretch, okay, is actually coming too far. I see this very commonly. It might be referred to as a runner's lunge sometimes, but what you're actually doing here is you're actually adding extension into the spine, and that's what we want to avoid when doing a hip flexor stretch. So let's do it properly. Okay, our toes are up on the ground, our laces are not down, our toes are up. I want your knee directly under the hip, okay, in the back, and in the front, I want your knee right above your ankle, okay, that leg's at 90 degrees. So in this position here, what I want you to imagine is that you have a tail. I want you to think about taking the tail and pulling it under the hip. So we're going from here and pulling it under to here, okay? This is actually an anterior pelvic tilt, and this is a posterior pelvic tilt. So we want to make sure that we're posterior tilting of our pelvis. Our front leg, I actually want you to slightly push down into the ground and slightly pull towards your butt. You'll actually notice it readjusts the position of your hip when you do that. So slightly pushing down and slightly pulling in to bring this hip forward on the left side. The knee that's on the bottom, okay, again, we're really holding that posterior pelvic tilt, pulling your tail through your legs. I want you as tall as possible. If you cannot hold this and stabilize here, you can take two broomsticks and hold them here. You can do this next to a couch so that you have stabilization. Okay, and from here, you're nice and tall, and all I want you to do is slightly push this hip bone forwards. Notice how I'm not doing this. My lower pelvis and my upper body are staying in the same line, okay? Really should not be much movement here other than like a slight 30 degrees. When you go further than that, you're pulling from your back, okay? So also, making sure that you're driving down, pulling in. I want this knee driving down as well. Good, and we'll do the other side. I'll do this one facing you, okay? So the leg in front, the foot's beneath the knee, we're at 90 degrees of the hip, slightly pushing down and pulling towards our booty on that side. This knee is directly underneath my hip. My toes are up on the ground. I pull my tail through my legs, okay? Nice and tall, neck is long, chin is tucked, and we do a slight drive forward of your pelvis. You should feel your butt cheek on the side where the leg is on the ground, down on the ground. So I should feel a contraction right here, and that's slightly at the end in that butt cheek, okay? Nice and tall. Okay, if you're having trouble, you can use your PVC or your pole to help you keep neutral. You got that here, right? You can use this always to help you find and keep that neutral spine.